Right, here we go to 5 red lights for the sprint here at Spain. 5 red lights, lights out and away we go. Vaxi seem to have got a pretty good getaway. One Eye as well is trying to make the move, but they aren't able to. R-Wiffle in P3. Now in P2, they have a good slipstream behind Vaxi. Are they going to try and make a move for the lead into turn 1? They do try it, but they have to tuck it behind slightly. A few moves going there at the back, although for Wiffle down the inside of Vaxi, and I don't know how he found that space, but into turn 3 he found that. R-Wiffle now leads. Vaxi into turn 4, makes a little bit of contact with One Eye there. Melvin on the outside of One Eye. Can Melvin make a position from that contact? Down the inside of turn 4 he goes, or turn 5, sorry, and Melvin does get the move. One Eye now under pressure by 18 in the kick Sauber down the inside into turn 6, and that was a good move by 18 to get that position. One Eye down into P5. Five-wise is going to be the next driver to take that. Failing and Tiger there going side by side into turn 9, and it's going to be a drag race now into turn 10, but it looks like Failing was able to stay in front. Simonix and Tiger swapping a few positions there, going into the breaking point, and Simonix into P11. 18 is going to be put into the inside of Melvin. Down the inside, 18 goes on Melvin into turn 1 and 2, and Melvin is going to have the outside for turn 3, and Vaxi, 18, sorry, just seems to have held that position, and he gets up into P3. Jace and Failing going at it once again. Failing round the outside. Latest on the brakes has the better traction. Is Failing going to be able to hold this round the inside? Jace has the better straight line speed, but isn't able to. Failing makes that move, and now Simonix is going to try and get past Jace, and does so. And now it's going to be KINGCOBRA going to be overtaking Jace. Jace losing 3 positions in one corner, but now Jace with that DRS, obviously from Failing in front, and it's going to be 3 wide probably going into turn 1 with Blake on the inside as well. Blake gets the move on Cobra and Jace, and Blake into P11 from absolutely nowhere. Let's go through the field and just see if anyone's going to be going side by side. Blake and KINGCOBRA going side by side there, but Blake being able to hold position just in front of the Ferrari, who is obviously reserving for Ferrari after being moved up. Oh, and there's a spin there. I think that's Failing spinning on the exit of turn 9, and it looks like One Eye and Five Wise are going side by side into the 3rd sector, into turn 12, and Five Wise gets that move done, and Xavier might even have a look to make a move on One Eye as well, but can't make that move, and he's going to tuck in behind, probably get the slipstream as we go into turn 1. Let's spectate this with the aerial shots. Is it going to be Xavier? Is it going to be One Eye? Xavier moves to the outside as One Eye defends to the inside. Side by side into turn 1. Xavier latest on the brakes and has the better line through turn 2 and through turn 3. Is it going to be Xavier? Is it going to be One Eye? Absolutely wheel to wheel. Who's going to come out on top of this? And I think it might just be Xavier going into turn 4, and round the outside he does. One Eye doesn't have the speed to maintain that round the inside. The Tiger now retakes that, the lead of the race, or takes the lead of the race. It's not going to be the actual lead though, because obviously Tiger still has to stop and has that penalty. Melvin there making a move on One Eye with DRS, although comes out right in front of Xavier. Melvin takes the correct runoff point there, stays in front of One Eye. One Eye might be having a slight eye on that one, but Melvin is going to look to try and pass Xavier. Can't do it into turn 4 though. Vaxi really close to 18 though. Is Vaxi going to be able to make the move on Wiffle? But 18 looking close to the Williams as well. They're going to go 3 wide a little bit, but aren't able to. But Vaxi has the outside, now has the insider on 18 as they go into turn 2 and 3. Vaxi into P2. There's only one more position that Vaxi needs to get, and he can take the win off R-Wiffle. Vaxi 3/10 behind with the DRS. R-Wiffle defends that very nicely, maybe slightly moving under braking there, and through the corner. Is Vaxi going to be able to get this place? Xavier there with a 3 seconds, so it's going to be neck and neck between those two. Vaxi, is he going to be able to try anything into the final corner? I don't think he's going to be able to. It's going to be R-Wiffle who will come across the line to win the Spanish sprint. Vaxi tried it, but he couldn't get it. P2 it is for Vaxi. Melvin is promoted up into a podium position from 18, and Xavier finishing P4 and 5 with pens. Five Wise finishing in P6. Tolu in P7 with KINGCOBRA in P8. Failing P9, Blake P10, Jason P11, Tiger P12. Vlad will finish in P13 with Simonix in P14, One Eye in P15, and Owls in P16. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's go, go, go for the Spanish Grand Prix. Whiffle there with an excellent start. Once again, Vaxi into P2. Lots of drivers swinging off to the edge there as they try and make some positions. But going into turn 1, no moves in the front half. And it looks like Xavier and Tolu going side by side. Into turn 2, into turn 3. A little bit of contact there. And that's Five Wise there in the back, who has unfortunately spun. And that is Xavier getting past Tolu. In the front there are Whiffle, Vaxi, and Melvin have a slight squabble. Whiffle down into P3. Melvin up the inside. Now around the outside of Vaxi into turn 5, sorry. And Melvin can't get the move on Vaxi just at the moment. But that was an excellent start from Vaxi and Melvin to get the positions up on Whiffle. And Whiffle can now try and work with Xavier, who was going to go side by side with 18, but just able to stay in front. And at the front there, I think that was 18 going off the track there. King Cobra switching to the inside, failing switching to the outside. Who is it going to be? And I think it's going to be both of them, passing 18 on the straight. Vaxi, Melvin, Whiffle stay in front, and like I predicted, 18 is probably going to lose both positions here, going through the exit, and failing is just going to be able to stay behind Jace, and Blake there behind. 18 has dropped into P10 with that. And down at the back there, that's Five Wise, Vlad, and One Eye going side by side. 3 wide momentarily, and Vlad has had a bit of I think probably got into the grass there a little bit. 18 with another mistake there as well, as Five Wise is passed, and One Eye tries to go around the outside of 18. Is going to have another bite of the dust going into turn 6 and 7 and 8. And One Eye does get the move done. That was a very good move from One Eye, and we'll just make that into turn 9 as well. But what has happened with this Williams? Blake there dives to the inside going into turn 10. That was a great send from Blake. And I think behind it was fading, and Jace going to go wheel to wheel as well into turn 12. And it's going to be fading. It's going to be Jace fading. Tries to hold it around the outside. And if Fading can keep that, that is a beautiful move around the outside for Fading to keep that. P8 is Failings, might even try and get past Whiffle as well down the straight, which I think he's going to be able to do. Whiffle though has DRS of his own, and he's going to retake P6 off Blake. But look at Jace, who looks to go around the inside of all 3 of them. Jace from P9 to P6. That was an excellent smooth there from Jace to spot that space and absolutely send it. It's not over yet though. Failing and Whiffle going side by side into turn 5. Is it going to be Fading? Is it going to be Whiffle? I think it might be Fading going into turn 6, 7, and 8. We're not Whiffle forces. Failing off the track. There might be a post-race penalty coming his way, but they're going to still go side by side into turn 9. And I tell you what, that was probably a bit of a well, I don't know what the word, payback there from Failing. And Blake also gets past Whifflers once again. Vaxi, Melvin, Xavier. Melvin is so much more closer than he was on the last lap. And Melvin is going to go to the inside, and he's going to take the lead. But look at Xavier as well. Down the inside of Melvin, isn't able to, but he's now going to be under pressure by Vaxi, who retakes it down the inside of turn 2. Round the outside now for turn 3. And I think Xavier is just going to hold that. And you can see as we go through turn 3 and into turn 4, Xavier is a couple car lengths in front of Vaxi, but went very wide. Vaxi might try and go around the outside once again going into turn 4, and I think Vaxi might just be able to hold this. Yes, he does. Vaxi stays in P2. Vaxi is closing in. Is Vaxi going to be able to retake the lead? And he is closing. He's going to dive to the inside, and he is going to go wheel to wheel with Melvin. A slight bit of contact. Melvin did leave the space, but Vaxi isn't able to make the move. Xavier might even try and get in on this scrap as well. Vaxi with a slight snap of oversteer going through turn 3 into turn 4. Is Xavier going to be able to go around the outside? No, he isn't. Vaxi tried to go around the inside though with Melvin, but isn't close enough. Who is going to be able to get the other one? But Melvin there having a snap out of turn 9, I think that was. That's allowed Xavier to get up into the lead of the race. Vaxi in P2. I have no idea what happened to Melvin, but that must have been an awful snap that he had. Blake and Failing there going side by side into turn 1, into turn 2 as well. They're still going to maintain it side by side. Simonix has decided to retire in the pits. Ooh, big snap by Blake going through turn 3. is going to still be able to make the move going into turn 4, but it might be One Eye. One Eye tries to go around the inside of Blake, and he's going to get wheel to wheel with the Red Bull. Is he going to be able to keep the move going into turn 5? He's going to not get it, but he's going to try the switchback, is One Eye, but isn't able to get that. Has Vaxi been able to pull the undercut, and is it going to pay out for him? And I think it might be able to, as Vaxi there, you can see, is behind 18, and Xavier is indeed in P8. Have those fresh mediums, though. Can they be able to get the pace and get past Vaxi? Vlad is going to stay out for another lap on those medium tyres. Vaxi and Xavier, though, as you can see, very close to overtaking each other going into the final corner, but onto the straight. I think that's just going to be an easy said move there for Xavier as he gets up into P2, the net lead, as I think that was Five Wise there who had a moment out of turn 11. But as that happened, Xavier up into the lead of the race, the net lead of the race, as Jace loses 2 positions there to his teammate and Failing, as Failing is going to try and rebattle with Jace. But Failing stays in P7, or will pull the trigger to go into the pits. Yes, he does. So is he going to go on to softs as I predicted? And more importantly, how far is him staying out dropped him behind the lead? Xavier and Vaxi are still going to be battling out there in front. Vaxi is getting closer. Is Vaxi going to make the move? Late send there from the Haas, but he is able to get side by side with the Williams, and they're still going to maintain it wheel to wheel. But Xavier just has to sit behind Melvin in P3. Now, how far behind is Vlad after their pit stop? They're onto a set of softs, and I think it's going to be P10, maybe even P11 as they come out the pits. But I think Five Wise is just too far behind. Vlad, they display that Goodwood Festival of Speed today, as that is going on this weekend. And as we talk about Festival of Speed, that's Xavier with a lot of speed in his Williams to retake the lead of the race in front of Vaxi and Melvin right behind. And it's going to hold Jace up a little bit, and I don't think this is the right call. I think Tolu probably needs to let his teammate go, as that's One Eye and Blake have come together, and I think that was a massive crash or something. One Eye spins again. Tolu is closing in on Failing. I don't think he's going to try it, although he does have a lot of speed in that V-car. I'm going to go side by side, and Tolu gets tapped a little bit by Failing, and Tolu gets spinning around there, and he's going to be there, and he's retired on track. Failing, like I said, retakes Jace going into turn 10 into turn 12. They're still going to maintain it side by side here. Jace round the outside. Failing tries to keep it around the inside, but I think he didn't have the best exit through turn 10, which has allowed Jace the better momentum around the outside. Vaxi retakes the lead of the race down the inside of Xavier into turn 1 as well. I didn't see that because I was spectating Jace and Failing, as those two are still going to maintain it side by side, and Xavier just has to sit behind Vaxi. Obviously, that is on soft tyres. Oh, Xavier spins there on the exit of turn 12. I think he dropped that on his own, and that is just cost him the win. Melvin looks to be defending quite a bit as well from King Cobra. King Cobra very, very close. Is he going to try and move on Melvin going into turn 4? We're going to ride on board with the Ferrari, and round the inside he goes with the better grip on those hard tyres. That was an excellent move from King Cobra. Round the inside of turn 4. Melvin tries it round back into turn 5, but isn't able to. King Cobra into P2. He's going to set his sights almost immediately for Vaxi. Going to have a quick check for anyone who has disconnected. Everyone seems to be in. Oh, King Cobra already down the inside of Vaxi going into turn 10. And he, with that, how did he find that grip? King Cobra, what a move. Down the straight though, is Melvin going to be able to make the overtake on Vaxi? Through the inside he goes, and I think that's One Eye leaving the pits, and Melvin does indeed get himself into P2 on the final lap of the race. King Cobra is trying to pull that 3-second, but with 1 lap still to go, I think it's going to be a bit too late, but Vaxi and Melvin are going to still squabble. This is just going to lose them even more time to King Cobra in front. But as we go through Sector 3, round turn 10, turn 11, turn 12 now, and into turn 13 and 14. King Cobra is going to be throwing absolutely everything at the car. 2 seconds the gap. Can he pull an extra second into the final corner? I don't think he's going to be able to. King Cobra wins on track. Melvin, though, retakes that lead and will win the Spanish Grand Prix on the game. Vaxi then will take P2. Xavier will finish in P4. Jace in P5. And Vlad will finish P6 on those soft tyres. Excellent stint from him. Firewise finishing P7. Fading will finish in P8. And it's going to be a long wait to see our Whiffle to cross the line. But like I said, if King Cobra can get that penalty removed, then he can win the race officially. Our Whiffle coming through turn 13 right now into turn 14. Unfortunate race from him. Won the sprint, but isn't able to win the official feature race and will finish in P9. Blake then will finish in P10 with an unfortunate spin with One Eye. And then the two drivers behind him, one being One Eye in dead last.